Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some kind of big news where it has the PlayStation where it's kind of in trouble. Now, obviously in the very bare bones, if you have a big multi-billion-dollar company, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, Steam, whatever, whenever you're in trouble per se, it doesn't mean like you're going to be losing your business tomorrow, but some really kind of weird and strange news has popped up for the PlayStation these past few weeks. Now, for whatever reason, PlayStation's been one of those really big news cycles where there's a lot of negativity, a lot of bad things happening, and well, a lot of folks are kind of curious on what the future is going to be for, well, a lot of different things. And I want to go talk about quite a few of these things in general because, number one, we're now seeing a little bit of DDoSing issues. Number two, we're seeing brand new huge PlayStation games going and having issues as well. We also are hearing all the big drama for the Bungie stuff, the layoff stuff. We have the actual Xbox outselling consoles now, and just everything. There's a lot of bad news going on, so I'm going to go cover about it. Now, obviously, if you guys are big PlayStation fans, don't worry. Over time, things will get better. Same with Xbox. When there's a bad Xbox news cycle, there's typically something good that happens over time. But right now, there's just been a really big flog of bad PlayStation stuff. So I'm going to go talk about it. So give me your thoughts and comments on all this down below. And of course, keep on checking the how links as well. Also all down below. We have a bunch of cool promotions for Best Buy, hashtag ad. If you guys want to click on those, check those out for all the sales, a bunch of cool games, and everything else in between. And of course, the Twitter and Twitch room, probably live up on Twitch, maybe checking out the brand new Fortnite stuff, so be on the lookout for that. And let's dive on into the video itself. So right, first and foremost, some very intriguing news were Bungie. If you guys remember, we had like a bunch of initial posts and comments where it seems like the official Bungie website right now is actually, well, DDoSed out. So this may get fixed over the next few hours or so, but just kind of add to like just the big wake of PlayStation, where right now the website, and obviously Bungie is a PlayStation subsidiary as of right this second, it literally isn't even working. It's not even there. It's not even like, you can't even load the page. I keep on trying to refresh itself in the first place. You can't even see it. This after like the big onslaught of just like they're having to do apology posts and people being concerned, people losing their jobs. Apparently now the entire week for Destiny, on top of that story really quickly, has had a lot of even more issues where like the Trials game mode for that Destiny game, which is quite popular for the PvP folks, was having issues. There was bugs in the game. People are concerned now on the longevity of the game. The overall community sentiment on Destiny has never been lower. I was seeing a lot of content creator friends making just bad comments, basically talking about the fact of how they dislike it, how they have no faith in the future, how they might just be going and canceling their pre-orders, or as well how a lot of folks are just upset about just everything going on with Bungie. But it also leads into the part two of this, where Marathon. Now, a lot of folks were hoping that Marathon itself as a game was don't mind the cat girl over here. We'll give this for a second that I can explain that one. That's a stream thing over there anyway. Don't worry about that. But basically, when it comes to Marathon, apparently it was also flopping in the midst of all of this. Like, look at how like happy this cat girl is. Do you ever want to go have this be sad? No, because Marathon is basically making this cat girl sad over there. That's embarrassing. Anyway, go put on my good old webcam. So when it comes to this Marathon itself, has reportedly now been flopping amongst playtesters amidst the Bungie chaos. So people had a chance to playtest up the actual game itself, like Marathon itself. And on top of the Bungie news having issues, on top of the layoffs, on top of the really bad community sentiment, Marathon, which is a lot of folks are excited for. Like this review trailer got millions of views, and people are obviously excited because it's a Bungie game that seems very PvP-esque, and it seems like it's more so leaning towards a Tarkov type style. If you guys ever played Tarkov, I played a decent bit. It's basically like you go through a big wide open map, you can go and fight and interact with anyone, AI, and also other players, and if you get loot, you get to keep the loot, extract with the loot, and you can basically have a chance to utilize it. So maybe their idea is to have that similar format and progression system, but for futuristic instead of Tarkov, which is more of like post-World War III type vibes. Or like the world's still there, you have weaponry, but it's not like futuristic. But Bungie kind of does future well, that make a lot of sense. But even with all that one, it seems like this has been a horrible reception, where the Destiny 2 streamer Azzy Cross has revealed that Marathon performed poorly with Escape from Tarkov playtesters, with them telling Bungie if Marathon was released tomorrow, they wouldn't even play the game. Bungie's had a chaotic week with the Destiny publisher laid off a large chunk of its staff, leaving the games industry devastated. Furthermore, the final shape and Marathon are both now to be believed to be delayed, and this is also after Marathon's horrendous reception. Fans were quick to speculate as of what triggered such a strong reaction, with some blaming Lightfall's shortcomings, so the prior expansion, and other people basically pointed at the fact that like the DLC is just scaring up people. It costs too much money, it's too intensive, people know what's really going on, and it sucks. So speculation from players is one thing, but now one of Destiny's biggest content creators has also disclosed information that looks like it's also why it's switching up its thing, saying Marathon didn't even click with the Escape from Tarkov playtesters. And if you have all the Destiny 2 community, that means if they don't necessarily want it or need it, that means that those players may not mitigate over. Or if you're also trying to go put more of an Escape from Tarkov, like looter shooter type style game, and if they don't also like that genre, they're also not going to move over. So who are they making this game for? So speaking on the situation surrounding Bungie, Destiny, and Marathon, streamer ASDecross shared some information on why Destiny developer had taken such extreme measures. Passing on information from an anonymous trusted source, ASDecross opened saying Marathon was originally a battle royale because battle royales were blowing up and only swapped scents and lanes to be more of like a Tarkov game too as well. Bungie actually had an event earlier this year where they brought in a bunch of Tarkov streamers. They got to play Marathon. To my knowledge, no Destiny 2 content creator, PvP player, or even community member even attended this too as well. And they're saying it was disclosed at the end of this event after playing Marathon. Bungie asked these streamers the question, would you play Marathon if it came out tomorrow? And literally no one raised their hands. So it is, I'm still intrigued on the game, but it seems horrible. Saying Marathon was always an extraction looter shooter, and Bungie only briefly entertained making it a BR. However, Marathon was always an extraction shooter with its first playable build in January of 2020. The original goals have 4 games: Marathon, Destiny, Matter, and one other one that would come from the incubation team. Matter got canned in December 2020. Most people working on Marathon are folks that were burnt out on Destiny 2, so basically people who just didn't want to keep on coding on Destiny 2 and they moved over to a new project. And upper management is full of folks that you've never even seen, so obviously people are concerned about this. Once again, this seems like a big mess. Like, this is meant to be one like the big, almost Call of Duty type competitors, because don't forget, PlayStation doesn't have a big Call of Duty competitor. It will have it for a while, and obviously it now is owned by Xbox, but they, in all intents and purposes, want something new to push into. Like, you don't want to keep relying on Call of Duty until it's gone. You have to, at some point, slowly go and mitigate their current user base of PlayStation users who may already play Call of Duty into a brand new game. So a Marathon type style game that's specifically made maybe even a PlayStation 5 exclusive would be great, or as well launch on an Xbox to kind of do the same thing where they're both milking off of each other's community. PlayStation and Call of Duty, Xbox and, like, say a game like Destiny and also Marathon. Like, that would make a lot of sense. It's kind of a win-win. They both get more players, they're both kind of milking each other, and as long as there's brand new games coming on both sides, people are happy on both communities and as well as also both higher ups. But if the game itself sucks, it's not going to be good. Now, as well, I've also been seeing even more news where the Xbox Series X and S has also been outselling the PlayStation 5 in Japan for now the 4th time, because basically the PlayStation's been doing way better, obviously overall, but for some odd reason this week has been very anti-PlayStation. Just a lot of things are going wrong. Saying Microsoft's console sneaked ahead as Sony prepares to launch its new PS5 Slim model. So it could also maybe be a very laid-back thing where PlayStation maybe just isn't funding as many consoles, and they're just trying to go wait for the Slim to get released, which does seem like it's coming sooner than later. But yeah, the Xbox Series X and S also outsold the PlayStation 5 in Japan for only the 4th time on a weekly basis since the console's launch. But so overall, it's not the world's most doom and gloom, but it is bad. Like, this whole week has been bad for PlayStation. So according to Famitsu's weekly charts, 2,903 Xbox Series X's and basically 400 Series S's were sold in Japan with a total of 3,300. And then by comparison, 2,717 PS5 consoles and 216 PS5 Digital Edition consoles were sold, a total of 2,933. So it's not the biggest margins, and these are also only thousands in comparisons to millions, but it is also Japan getting a little bit more of a second win for Xbox consoles, and we'll have to see how this kind of goes and continues overall. So there may be excruciating circumstances around these numbers, as on the previous 3 occasions, Microsoft consoles sold out. Sony's basically PlayStation 5 had stock issues. So that could also maybe lead to the plan where maybe in theory, there is a chance maybe that they're just not restocking, like I said, for the PlayStation 5 Slimmers, and they're trying their best to maybe maintain that too, possibly. And as well, in 1 week, a long period of May 2022, Xbox sold 6,000, while the PS5 did around the same, around 2,600, and this was replicated once again in June 2022 as well, with the similar numbers. So, I don't know, it kind of seems like they're both big companies are trying to get more initial sales, which is nice, that's good to see, but at the end of the day, we'll have to, I don't know, kind of go from there. there. And last but not least, there's actually apparently just a really annoying thing for Call of Duty where you basically can't launch Modern Warfare 3 without first launching Modern Warfare 2. I noticed this. This was obnoxious when I tried to play it. I also made a review on it earlier on if you guys want to check on that video after that, or after you guys go check out the how links and sponsor links if you guys want to support me up. Hashtag ad in Best Buy if you guys want to pick up games. But also as well, yeah, you have to basically go have this weird Call of Duty hub where it has like Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and it was kind of convoluted for me to even figure out how this even works. So basically Call of Duty, you basically have to have like this weird headquarters thing. It's like a central hub. Think like a launcher, think like a Battle.net or EA Games or Steam if you guys have PC players. And it was obnoxious and I hated it. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. I feel bad for PlayStation this week, but of course I feel worse for the people who lost their jobs. Like I mentioned, all the how links, hashtag ad links down below if you guys want to go check those on out. We have the Twitter and Twitch room as well if you guys would like to follow those, and of course everything else too as well. We should be live up on Twitch too, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching here in the first place.